hottest topics, the latest rumors, in-depth discussions, and the biggest headlines. Your weekly WWE fix all in one place. Find us on YouTube, iTunes, Automatic, and SoundCloud. This is the Main Event Podcast with your hosts, Imran, Arif, and Raza. It's time for the main event.
No matter how hard we try, we always manage to somehow find ourselves back on Tough Enough.
Tanner?
Not Tanner.
Tanner!
Thank God, not Tanner.
Imran, Tanner's back!
We've somehow created this really strange bond with the programme, even though we bash it every single week, how bad it is.
We didn't bash it last week.
We didn't talk about it last week, but we're back on Tough Enough, because today we are discussing Tough Enough with some interesting news breaking out not too long ago. And what else do we have? We're talking tag team champions and Roman Reigns, and of course there's a prediction show as well with our Night of Champions predictions, all that and much more on episode 45 of the Main Event Podcast. I'm your host Raza, and joining me as always is Imran. Imran's back. How are you?
I'm good. You've introduced me before Arif. That was a surprise.
Thought I'd switch it up just because I knew Arif was getting ready to chime in.
Damn it! Did you hear me say I hope?
How you doing, Arif?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to have you back, Imran. Good to have you, Raza. I hope you're both ready for the Night of Champions prediction show, because there may be a bit of a stipulation involved.
Okay.
Hope you have your bets at the ready.
I hate the word stipulation.
I'm sure when we used to do this, Imran was wiping the floor with you.
I definitely was, and ready to resume that role again.
Well, it's time for change here at the Main Event Podcast, so I'm quite confident.
Raza, could you say it's a new day?
We started already. I can't believe it.
Yes,
if you did miss it, then we did record an episode last week that you can go back and listen to and download, episode 44.
It wasn't very good.
It was good.
It wasn't very good.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't. Imran, you weren't there.
We looked at Sting in the build-up to Night of Champions, the injury situation in the WWE, and of course the PWF 500 as well. So if you're interested in what we have to say on those topics and much more, please do go back and have a listen. You can tune in on a variety of platforms and outlets as well. It's completely up to you where you decide to listen. You can choose from Podomatic, Mixcloud, TuneIn Radio, and now, as I found out yesterday, we are on Deezer.
What?
I believe that is an application
Raza, it's pronounced Giza. They have them at pyramids.
How did I know someone was going to say that?
The pyramids of Giza.
Deezer is, I believe, is an application like Spotify.
Are we on Spotify?
We're not Spotify. I already checked. That's pretty cool though. So if it's like you
does anyone use Deezer?
I have no idea.
We could be number one on Deezer.
But I found out we're on Deezer.
We're officially number one on Deezer.
Let's just make it official then.
I feel honoured Deezer's
start downloading. Imran, start downloading.
But if you are a Deezer user, then please search for the Main Event Podcast and have a listen there.
Or even if you've planned on going to Giza at some point in your life.
There's just no escaping us. You can subscribe and never miss an episode on iTunes as well as SoundCloud. And you can also subscribe and listen to every single one of our episodes on our YouTube channel. Search for the Main Event Podcast on all of those platforms and you will find us. You can also visit our website /blog where our podcasts are being uploaded.
Weblog.
www.themaineventwrestling.com. We'll finally use the word wrestling in our name. About time.
It's like the WWE. Oh, wait, no. Opposite of WWE. They're not wrestlers.
Finally, please keep in touch with all the happenings here at the Main Event Podcast. Everything from emailing Arif at tmbpodcast@gmail.com.
Can we switch role? Imran, do you want to take over email for a bit?
Yeah, please. And
it's not the easiest job in the world.
No, it's not. It's the most complicated job in the world, and you build a lot of experience from it. Imran, please take it.
Please email me. I'll reply to every single email.
Emailing yourself doesn't count, by the way. You can follow us on Twitter at TME Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel again, the Main Event Podcast.
Imran, I'll email you.
And please go over to our Facebook page, the Main Event Podcast WWE, and give that a like as well. Now then, all that's out of the way. Let's not waste any more time here. Let's go with today's show. The prediction show, some interesting topics picked out as well for us to hopefully discuss. Are you guys ready?
Always.
Well, I mean,
yep.
I think we should start with tradition, like back to Tough Enough. I would say this is like... I would say this is the final ever Tough Enough topic we will have, but I've said that like 3 times over the past 4 episodes or something. We always find ourselves coming back here.
Now, does it even count as Tough Enough, though? Because it's technically a Tough Enough superstar, but...
I think we should count it. I mean, you know. Anyway, why are we discussing Tough Enough? Well, not too long ago, reports broke suggesting that WWE have signed another Tough Enough hopeful to a developmental contract. We already know Josh and Sarah Lee are with the company. Obviously, they won the competition. Then it looked as if Amanda signed with the company. She's been seen hanging out with some of the WWE Divas, and she's replaced Naomi on Total Divas as well, so that's good for her.
What?
You didn't know that?
Is this a real thing? I saw Paige got proposed to on Total Divas.
You watched Total Divas?
No, I watched a clip of it in anticipation so I could talk about it on this show.
You watched a clip of Total Divas?
Imran sent it me.
Not even I watched a clip of it.
No, Imran sent it me.
Well, yeah, apparently
Imran
she's replaced Naomi on Total Divas. So I guess she's going to be of some use.
Big things, I guess.
But what I wanted to discuss, I can't believe we just overlooked that. The WWE have reportedly signed ZZ to a developmental deal. What I want to ask, Arif, what was your initial reaction upon hearing the news the WWE had signed ZZ? Are we just going to leave it at that? That sums the
No, let's be honest. None of us saw this coming.
No, I agree.
None of us saw this coming. Do you reckon it's just to a backstage deal or a developmental deal, and like he'll never actually develop? I don't understand.
I think there's something there, and they see it.
Is it an alligator? I don't actually know. What's he gonna do? He's never gonna be as amazing as Kevin Owens or a Bray Wyatt, who's that way developed. But maybe he could do something. I don't know. Imran, people seem to like him.
Exactly, that's the main thing. Imran, your reaction? First time hearing it, what went through your head?
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. The thing is, though, if you go back, listen to our podcast number 43 or 42 when we last talked about Tough Enough, we were talking about ZZ, and I think you both agreed that he did have one thing going for him, which was his age, which gives him enough time to develop and become the superstar that WWE wants him to be. I mean, he's got the charisma, he's got the personality, and he's got time to develop in ring now. You
can mold him. He's definitely moldable.
I mean, when I read this, the first thing no joke went through my head was Arif and Arif's reaction. What it would be when...
I'm just surprised. There are so many other people. I mean, Tanner. There's Tanner. There's Tanner as well. What about Tanner?
You said Marder, right? Marder and Patrick and Marder.
But as Imran said, 19 years old, a lot of time to develop. He can put the work in and get into better shape, improve his conditioning, and make a go of it. It's whether he wants it. We've seen on Tough Enough, or that's what WWE showed us anyway, that he didn't really want it. If he can do that, then I think he's already a step ahead of people, because there are stars on the main roster who don't have the charisma he has at 19 years old.
Adam Rose.
Oh, exactly. There are a lot of people. Let's not get into a long list of names.
As in, I could definitely see him as a Santino Marella comedy character, and I think he'd fit into that really, really well.
Yeah.
Whether he will be a good wrestler, and I think that's what we're worrying about, but maybe we shouldn't worry about it, because it doesn't really matter anymore.
I mean, is it really a surprise that he signed? I mean, we know what he offers. He offers charisma. He's something, for the kids, and he has something most guys don't and probably never will. So was it really a surprise? Or is it a surprise that he signed so early?
I think so early. I think it's got to be a surprise that he signed at 19. He could have gone into the indies like someone like Patrick is doing or Marder's doing at the moment and really proven himself that he really did want this. It is very surprising. Maybe the WWE didn't want to let him go, but where was he really going to go?
Well, 19 years old, keep him on developmental for a good 4 or 5 years. Who knows? Maybe watch him just open the door 4 or 5 years later. The performance is just like a chiseled Greek god.
The next John Cena.
Yeah, with the same head, but just like a 12-pack.
And he has that alligator head on his head.
Well,
on his head.
Imagine that. I actually can't imagine that because it probably won't happen. But Imran, what were you surprised at the fact that he signed at all, or signed this early on in his career?
Imran's already bought his t-shirt.
I have.
It's on the way.
20% off WWE Shop. Nah. I was surprised that he was signed ahead of guys like Patrick, guys like Marder, and even Tanner. They deserve the spot so much more.
You heard that. You heard that, people. You heard that. Imran agrees.
Yep, I do. So, I don't know. I don't have much to say about ZZ because in 5 years' time, he'll be a totally different person, let alone a superstar. I think that's what WWE's looking at.
I think at the same time, when you think about it, if the WWE let ZZ go, they kept him on their radar, he wouldn't do anything to improve himself. Whereas So they're going to use the charisma he has, bring him in, and then, work on him. Whereas guys like Patrick and Mara, the WWE probably want to see them on the outside, see what they can do. Because they are going to go and train, they're going to compete, they're going to build a fan base, they're going to hone their skills. And then when they're at their peak, that's when they'll bring them in. So they don't have to work on them as much. So maybe I think I can see where they're going with this, because whether we love ZZ or whether we hate him, we probably do hate him, but he has something that guys want, he's got it, and the WWE probably don't want to let that go, because it's valuable.
I can see it happening now. ZZ is going to debut with Sarah Lee.
Oh, God.
At WrestleMania. And he's going to be the new Bulgarian Brute. And Sarah Lee's going to be Lana. It's so beautiful.
Sarah Lee's going to fluff her lines about 12 times. Smiling.
She's going to lose the accent and then smile.
Yeah.
Like only she can.
Okay, so can he or will ZZ get into shape to succeed in the WWE?
I think he has to. I think he really has to. Because if he doesn't, then he's screwed.
But will he?
Oh, that's a different question. No. Yes. Maybe. Maybe. I'm going to go with maybe.
I think we want him to do well because it's something different. But you don't want to put all your faith in him and then he lets you down. Maybe that's
being in the WWE locker room and the WWE Performance Center is probably the best place for him. I agree with that. I think if he's ever going to make it, this is the best place for him to make it. Whereas for someone like Patrick or someone like Marta, I know we keep going back to them, but for them, maybe the WWE Performance Center isn't the best place because they can hone their skills and their craft elsewhere. For ZZ, it's probably the best place that he's ever going to learn.
Yeah, I think WWE is lacking on, the big kind of like superstar name. I think ZZ is the type that can become a big superstar name, and being a wrestler is not about being a wrestler anymore. And I reckon that's all that they got ZZ there. Therefore, to be that big name, that big brand that John Cena is.
I see more Santino than Cena, though. But it's too early to say. Anything could happen. He could become the best technical wrestler. Oh my God, imagine.
In the same shape. Obviously better condition, but in the same shape.
That crocodile finisher is terrible. Can we just agree on that? He doesn't lock their arms in anywhere. They could just slide away.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be staying.
Yeah, that's one thing they'll work on. But does he deserve it then? Being signed to a developmental deal, reportedly being signed to a developmental deal.
Nope.
Okay.
He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it. It's too early for him. If he really wanted this, he should have proved it, I think. So having him signed to a developmental deal, I guess, puts a lot of pressure on him, A, but B, also, it's like giving a dog a treat when the dog has peed on your carpet. He didn't prove himself during the time when he should have done, and
he came runner-up.
That's not because of a lack of trying. That is because of a lack of trying. He didn't try in those 12 weeks.
I think what ZZ knew was that he's got the fans on his side.
And that's all it is.
One particular week, and he knew.
He's likable. He's likable in the way that you like an underdog. Like if he was an amazing wrestler as well, obviously that would be the total package, but he's not. He's a terrible wrestler, and he wasn't willing to learn, and that's a shame.
But this is what this contract does. It allows him to learn and allows him to become the superstar, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but if he wasn't doing it when he had to actually work hard for it, now it's been given to him on a plate. If he's forced into it, yes, fair enough. And that's what I think is going to end up happening. He's not going to work for it as hard as he thinks he will. He's going to be forced into working for it because he's got the contract and they're going to train him every day and they're going to force him to wake up early and they're going to force him to stay on this diet and they're going to force him to sleep early and they're going to force him to train. That's what's going to make him become a WWE superstar. I don't think it's from his side. I think it's from the trainer's side.
Yeah.
But like we said, I think he's probably the best person for it because he's already got the personality locked down.
I think deep down we all want him to succeed.
Because, it would be fun to see him in the main event of WrestleMania 33.
So what can you expect from ZZ then? Let's fast forward a year and a half, 2 years. When we sat down to do this podcast, what will we be talking about ZZ?
I don't think there'll be much, just because I don't see him being in a ring, or ready to be in a ring in front of the cameras in 2 or even 3 years' time. I reckon it'll take about a good 4 or 5 years, but he's got that time because of his age.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, will we be talking about ZZ's progress, or will we be talking about the fact that he's been released? That's
So much positivity here on the Main Event podcast. We will be talking about his progress. He will, like I said, he will be forced into it, but he will be making gains every single day. It won't be from his side. It'll be because the trainers are pushing him, because the WWE want him to do well. And I do see him as a Santino Marella eventually, like Imran said, in about 4 or 5 years, but not yet. We will be seeing progress, though.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. We like you, ZZ.
Yes, because he's definitely listening to us. On his way to Burger King.
On his... This is his last burger ever.
Last one. He's going to enjoy that one. Anyway, let us know what you think.
From Louisiana.
Let us know. I hope he stays just so you can
Gators.
With that accent. So,
just so I can practice it, because I've not heard him for a while. So it just sounds like the American dream. Oh.
Let us know what you guys think about ZZ's contract, his developmental deal, whether you think he deserves it or not. Certainly surprising, as we said. Just quickly before we move on, obviously I heard you're surprised at Amanda. What are your thoughts on Amanda being... I didn't hear myself... I didn't hear the fact that she received a deal. All I heard was she's appearing on Total Divas. So I'm guessing she signed some sort of contract with the WWE. What do you make of that news? Replacing Naomi as well.
Her storyline will just be, I don't like you because I'm prettier than you. So, I mean, we're just going to see everything that we saw on Total Divas is going to be rehashed from her time on Tough Enough.
Yeah, she's going to be another JoJo where she starts off as somebody new, someone who's got a lot of potential, someone who could be big, and then just put on the side and then
but JoJo's
randomly
small.
on the... What?
JoJo's small.
JoJo's nice.
Let's not get into what you're doing.
She's like sized.
I think there are similarities between herself and Eva Marie. If you have to pick...
Don't compare her to Eva Marie.
No, I mean, obviously,
already.
starting off on...
Is anybody at Eva Marie?
Starting off on Total Divas.
She gets to kick out!
If, obviously, do you think Amanda is going to, obviously, get into the wrestling side of things?
Yeah, I could see her being a big name. I could see her being a Trish Stratus type figure, where she comes in and everyone thinks she's terrible, and she starts off being average, and then she learns the business, because she does seem really passionate about it. It just doesn't help that she's a bit of a witch.
That's true.
I think that...
The Main Event podcast studio. Sorry, I was just a little bit lost there. Where were we?
Yeah, no, I think that completely helps her being a witch, as he said. It just adds to that character that WWE loves, and being on Total Divas is going to help her stand out, I guess.
I guess the only problem I have with it is it's one thing being a witch in the ring, but backstage, if she makes enemies, they're going to stick with her.
Total Divas is scripted anyway, isn't it? So it doesn't...
What?
It is?
No. Let's move on.
Sorry?
Let's swiftly move on.
You just must be joking.
I'm definitely joking, Ive. Don't worry. Guys, let us know what you think in the comment section, wherever you're listening, at the side, down below, whatever it is. What you think about ZZ's appointment, as well as the role Amanda could play in the WWE as well. Moving on, one thing we've all noticed is that the WWE are trying, or they tried and succeeded, in erasing AJ Lee's name from history. She was the longest reigning Divas champion in history, which was obviously broken by Nikki Bella this past week on Monday Night Raw.
I mean, if you mean by mentioning her every single week, as the longest reigning Divas champion, then sure, erasing her from history, Reza.
But obviously, now they won't have to mention that. Fans all have their thoughts on it. It's not an argument we want to get into. We'll be here for a while. However, the WWE are looking to erase another name from history. A little somebody you might have heard of, CM Punk. I don't know if you know who that is. We know he's the longest reigning WWE World Heavyweight Champion in history. 434 days, is it? Something like that?
434. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah. Now the WWE have plans for a new superstar to break that record and erase his name. Obviously, Punk and the WWE aren't on great.
And his name is John Cena!
Oh, man.
Surprise.
Surprise, Cena.
The superstar they are looking at, not John Cena. Triple H and Vince McMahon want Roman Reigns.
Triple H and Vince McMahon?
No, Triple H and Vince McMahon.
People, Rosa.
They want Roman Reigns to be the one to dethrone CM Punk's title reign.
Surprise.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean...
This is like a bad dream I had.
So what are your thoughts on the idea that Reigns could go down in history as the longest reigning WWE World Heavyweight Champion, in recent times anyway?
If he's a defending champion, absolutely fine with it. As long as he gives us a meaningful championship reign like CM Punk had. What I'm not happy with is if Vince and Triple H do it to spite CM Punk. just so that they could actually etch his name off. I hate that politics. That kind of that work politics. You're not doing it for the fans. You're doing it for your own ends of mean. And I freaking hate that.
Mm-hmm. It's the same sort of thing as the AJ Lee thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the only reason Nikki Bella's title reign has lasted so long is because they screwed up with AJ Lee originally, and it's exactly the same thing now with CM Punk. They're trying to erase him from their history books, I guess, by giving the title to Roman Reigns, who nobody likes. I mean, they could have had the title. Who's the current title holder?
Rollins.
There you go. That would have been perfect.
I agree.
He's the perfect sort of person to carry this company into the future. He's a heel. He'd be really, really fun to see as a champion for over a year as well.
But
I think it was easier as well, really quickly, going back to the point with CM Punk, I think it was easier at the time, though. Having the title on Reigns for so long will be really, really tiring, especially with someone that the fans already don't like. With CM Punk at the time, you still had the World Championship.
Yes, exactly.
Which was elevated to higher than the WWE Championship at times, just to make sure that it didn't seem as tiring, didn't seem as lethargic, having Punk as the champion for 434 days. And honestly, thinking back to it, it doesn't even seem like he held the title that long.
Well,
I'm worried that it'll be the same sort of situation. Sorry, it'll be a different sort of situation with Reigns, and because people already don't like him, it's going to be even worse.
Would you say they're not warming to him now, compared to January? Royal Rumble, we heard that reaction. WrestleMania, we heard that reaction. Now he's actually working his way towards the top, working with Bray Wyatt in a decent feud. Would you say, okay, let's fast forward a year and a half, and then he's given a title shot, and then he runs with it? Would you be okay with it then? Because
it's very difficult to go from the John Cena cheers and boos to just being cheered.
Okay.
Roman Reigns is only being cheered at points now because he's teaming with Dean Ambrose. Yeah. That's my honest opinion. And the people he's being cheered by are the kids and the women in the crowd. No offense I don't mean to be sexist, but he seems to be a hit with the ladies. And it's the guys and it's the marks in the crowd who are the ones who are booing him, just like they do with John Cena. It all seems very artificial, even in this feud right now.
Yeah. I think the fact that Dean Ambrose is involved is key. I think he's the second most over superstar on the WWE. But, I mean, let's say he wins the title. Would you be okay with it if he was a face, then turned heel, and then had a title reign for so long? Because he's not going to stay face forever. People are thinking he might turn heel and have champions. He might turn heel next year, the year after. He's going to be a heel. And he's going to be a monster heel.
I think he needs to as well.
Yeah. So
if he turns on Dean Ambrose.
So say if he does become WWE World Heavyweight Champion, maybe even a feud with Ambrose as the champion, would you be okay with it then? Me personally, I would. I think a heel champion for Reigns, I think he needs to win it as a face when odds are against him, when he's genuinely worked his way to the top. Then if he wins the title as a face, I wouldn't mind. But he needs to turn heel and keep it fresh, because the one thing which with CM Punk was he was versatile. He was creative. He was able to keep a 400-odd day title reign interesting with Paul.
And he switched during the title reign as well.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the key thing. So do you think if Reigns turns heel, would that be a championship reign people would want to watch for 435 days, for example?
Has to be exact.
438 days. Let's switch it up a little bit then.
Oh, controversial.
Slightly longer. Ooh, nice. He has to do something meaningful. He has to be brought up to that status, before his switch, where he's actually earned the spot, earned the right to have a long championship reign like CM Punk did. It's the only way to sort of like soften the blow. The thing is, right now, I think Roman Reigns is doing decently. I think this is the way you do build up the next huge mega superstar, by using guys like Dean Ambrose. I'm not happy with the way that they're using Dean Ambrose for the sake of building Roman Reigns, but this is the way to go about it. It's not too much in your face, and when he is saying something, it's either on SmackDown. Yeah, it's where he could really actually experiment with himself, really become himself on tapes like SmackDown, Raw, Fallout, and then take it to the Raw ring, where he's actually using the most, his polished skills, I guess. and being the champion with those polished skills and switching it up, I reckon it'll be perfect for him. It is the way to go, I reckon.
I'd be happy if they do turn him heel. I don't think it's right for him to win the title now. I don't think any of us think it's right for him to win the title now, or even within the next year. I think the way you do this is you have him as a face for the next year, and then eventually, when maybe give Ambrose the briefcase and let him win the title at some point next year. So give him the next main event, Money in the Bank title, and then have him win the title, and then have Reigns turn on Ambrose then, and that's how you start his heel feud. You have him winning the championship as a heel straight away. That's his turn. I think that's the way you do it, and that sets a precedence then that he will do anything to win that title.
I agree.
Even turn on his best friend.
That's the thing.
Just like I would with you, Rosa. Oh, I mean, what?
Just kick me off the podcast to take over. So I was
Rosa, you're sorry. What?
Well, I agree with that because
I didn't realise you could hear that.
As I said, Reigns needs to be a heel. That's a good way to introduce him as a heel, and that's when it doesn't matter if fans boo. Fans aren't going to cheer him because he does that because they love Ambrose. So then he's a natural heel. That needs to happen. The thing I wanted to say was there are rumours that he's going to win the title next year. Whether he keeps it is a different story. I believe the plan is for Sheamus to win, obviously, before dropping it to Reigns or somebody else. Then Reigns will win, and then he'll drop it to Cena for his 16th title reign. Is that something you'd get behind, or do you believe when Reigns finally wins it, he needs to keep it for that record?
See, this is the problem with John Cena, I guess, because of the Roman Reigns issue. We're able to discuss the idea that Roman Reigns can turn heel and freshen up his character. John Cena's never had that. So he's always going to get the boos and cheers mixed. I don't think it's right for Reigns to lose the title to Cena. I think it should be the other way around. I think Cena should maybe and I just said Dean Ambrose, he should win the title from Dean Ambrose. Maybe we should get Cena to lose it to Ambrose and then Reigns to beat Ambrose for the title. I think that's probably the better way to go. And then you could even save the Reigns-Cena match for next WrestleMania or the WrestleMania after.
I don't know. I like to see John Cena as the 16-time world champion simply because it's something different. I don't think storyline-wise we would have seen in WWE. But I reckon after that, that's when Roman Reigns should become champion. It'll be sort of like passing off the torch.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it'll give us enough time to like sort of like build him up instead of like throwing him into the picture straight away, like we had last year. And I've not gotten over last year what happened at WrestleMania, where he was just thrown into the picture to beat Brock Lesnar essentially. I think that'll kind of soften the blow when Roman Reigns wins the title.
So you agreed with me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not.
You said you don't know.
I'm not disagreeing.
So we both agree and Reza is the wrong one. That's fine.
Nothing changes there. So what sort of opponents / feuds do you think would be better for Reigns heading into the championship? And then which opponents do you think he should feud with during a title reign?
Rusev.
Okay.
That's my first pick.
Well, you said Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose has to be there.
Dean Ambrose, I think, when he has the championship.
Yeah, when he has a championship.
See, it's really difficult because
Cena's
anyone's got to be up against him. Cena again when he's got the title, it's really easy. So it's Cena.
Okay, so what makes Reigns a credible champion? Who does he need to feud with and beat for people to start actually cheering him? To think, okay, now he's earned his chance.
I don't think you turn him that easily though. I think you keep him as a heel for as long as possible.
No, I mean,
and then maybe eventually when he's been a heel for a long time, that's when you have him face Cena. And that's when you have the face turn because he faces the person that everyone hates the most.
Okay.
I really think that's the best way to turn him back to being face, by having him beat Cena in a sort of pass the torch sort of scenario. When he's champion, and I mean this like really long down the road. I think having Reigns as a heel for a long time would be really good for him. So
when let's name a place, when will Roman Reigns become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion for the very first time?
Oh, this is difficult.
Will it happen in 2016?
What's the pay-per-view? SummerSlam next year. SummerSlam 2016. And that's when he turns heel on Dean Ambrose.
Okay. Imran?
I think it might be Survivor Series.
Yeah, okay. I'm happy. I'm happy to change. Anywhere in that sort of time period. Basically this time next year. I think it would be the right time to pull the trigger on him.
Yeah. Interesting. So final question before we move on. Back to square one. Should Roman Reigns be the superstar to overtake CM Punk's title reign. Putting all that into consideration, heel turns, who he feuds with, can you see, or should Roman Reigns be the one to do that? Me personally, I'd be okay with that. I think
Elaborate.
a monster heel would be good for him. Feuding with Cena would be good for him when he turns face again. As I said, if he's put into good feuds, good opponents, has good matches, he's improving in the ring. That's key. If he can continue doing that, fans might take him a bit more seriously. And I don't know, I just think he's a safer person to go with than somebody else.
See, imagine having no title on, no WWE World Heavyweight Championship on Cena now until WrestleMania 34. This is what I'm like imagining now. So imagine if you didn't have that championship anywhere near Cena until then. Reigns is a heel. He's held it for 450 days at that point or something like that. So this is WrestleMania 34. So this is 2.5 years away. And then we have Cena, the aging, like, legend at that time, I guess. This could be his last ever title reign at that sort of level, and you have him versus Reigns at WrestleMania, and Cena wins, and that's how he wins his 16th title. I think that energy would be amazing. Cena would be refreshed at that point as well. Reigns would be able to turn face at that point as well. And I know it's wishful thinking, but I think that's the best way to have it. And yeah, just to answer your question, I would be happy with Reigns holding the championship for that long if that's the way they go, or if they go to that sort of level and they make it that important.
Imran, let's finish off with you. Do you agree with us? Do you agree with us? Is Roman Reigns?
I partly agree. No, here's the thing. Anybody messing with CM Punk's historical, legendary reign, we're all going to be pissed about. The internet wrestling community is going to be pissed about it. But if
maybe not pissed, we should maybe not say that word.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just re-say that bit, but without the P word.
Anybody else,
we'd be annoyed with, wouldn't we?
We would, yeah, exactly. We'll be really annoyed with it. The internet wrestling community, the community in general,
communities everywhere. It's going to be annoyed.
Communities worldwide.
Yeah, every community would be angry with that. But here's the thing:
I'll be happy.
Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins are the future, and if anybody is going to beat that reign, is better. Nobody better than them two to put it on. And here's the thing: we know Roman Reigns can be a beast, an absolute beast, as long as he's not forced down our throat. Sorry, better way of saying it. And
no, neck is fine.
Yeah, neck. Yeah, so I think he will make a meaningful champion. As long as it's a meaningful title reign, great contenders, great matchups, being a great champion.
It'd be nice to have him in that sort of position. I would like him to have a manager if he was a heel, though.
I agree. I think everyone.
I think that adds a whole new dimension to his character.
Paul Heyman.
That's what. That's a different. There
were rumors about it. That's
a different topic, though. Let us know what you think. Should Roman Reigns be the one to dethrone CM Punk as the longest reigning WWE World Heavyweight Champion? If you don't agree, let us know who you think would be a better option.
Imran's on the emails.
Imran's just going to email himself 27 different options. Let's move on now. One of the more refreshing things in the WWE in recent months has been the tag team division. At some stage, at a number of stages, in fact, it's been worse than the Divas division.
Could you say it's the 3 stages of hell?
You maybe could, but in recent months we've seen a lot of
type of match.
A lot of new blood being injected, and we're being entertained again, thanks to the likes of the New Day. So what have we made?
Could you say it's the ascension of the tag team division?
You maybe could, maybe. What have you made of the tag team division in recent months? And I know we're all going to say New Day the best thing going, the best happening tag team.
New Day are the best thing going.
Yeah. So is that discussion over then?
Well, we can move on if you'd like. I mean, I'm sure we have a lot to say about the New Day and just the tag team division in general, and the way that they can surprise us still with the Dudley Boys returning and Edge and Christian backstage having an amazing segment with the New Day. And this was I'm so excited.
I mean, the rumors
are a really good time to be a wrestler.
Here's the thing: the Divas Revolution flopped, but the tag team, now that's a revolution. Revolution. I mean, just this past Raw, we saw Stardust teaming up with the Ascension. I'm liking
Cosmic
that.
Wasteland.
Exactly. I'm liking that team. It's a good way of using the Ascension, who flopped. And the Dudley Boys, the way that they're being used, they're not being thrown out there. They're not being told to dominate the tag team division. They're there in very small but meaningful doses. And I love that about the tag team division. The tag team division is on fire. It's amazing right now.
They're building it up so well. It's ridiculous. And the Divas Revolution needs to take a page out of their book. Out of their book.
Yeah.
How important,
guys? Let's not forget.
No. Imran said, "Let's not forget," and then he forgot.
Let's not forget. Please don't forget. Elimination Chamber. We had an amazing match. It was the tag team titles elimination match. Like, I never thought something like a match like that would have been possible.
Oh, there's a tiny ball
I
in
didn't
the
think it'd be
cage,
so good. It was amazing. It was a great match.
It was a caging.
How important do you think the New Day has been to it all? The fact that Triple H was dancing and clapping just shows how entertaining they've been in tag team division. How important do you think they've been?
They've been the ones who've spearheaded this entire revolution, and if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't be in the position that they're at right now. And I mean, the WWE with the tag team division would not be in the position that they're in right now if it wasn't for the New Day. They have been absolutely amazing in the ring, on the mic, in backstage areas, in fan videos online, in random interviews. They're just absolute gold. And it is because of 2 out of the 3 people, I think, more than anything. And nothing against Kofi Kingston, but Biggie Langston is pure genius.
Yeah.
And with Xavier Woods by his side, they're just perfect team.
It's little things.
But here's the thing.
The hip swiveling, the trombone, everything put together.
Biggie just looks like he's having fun.
Yeah. I think there was a question on Twitter a few weeks ago about someone asking him how much fun he's having. He goes, "I'm doing snow angels in the ring and my friends are dancing over me. It's like a 14. That just says, look, they're having fun and they're entertaining us.
Quite a large 14-year-old.
It's...
bench pressing more than John Cena.
I don't know, I think... The sad thing is the New Day's going to come to an end one day, but we won't go down that road just yet.
No.
It's a good thing. It's a great thing right now.
What else do you think the WWE needs to do then to take the tag team division to the next level? I know we've seen the Dudley Boys return, the New Day entertaining. We're getting a lot of teams contending for the titles. Rumours of a Hardy Boys return as well. What else do you think they need to do to make it even more relevant or even better than it already is?
Honestly, could you not see Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns feuding with any of these tag teams and it just being normal? And I guess in our heads it seems like Ambrose and Reigns are more main eventers, but the tag team division right now could be the main event or nearby. I mean, having Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns versus the Dudley Boys, for example, at the next pay-per-view for the tag team titles would be awesome to see, and it's not that far-fetched.
I don't know. I like the fact that they're keeping the tag team division as a division itself. It's separate from the rest of the singles.
But Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns are a tag team.
But they're a tag team right now, but they're a lot more individually focused. They're not out as a set tag team, as a set alliance, set group. Yeah, they have an alliance, but they're not a set. Like the Shield was a proper team, proper tag team.
I can still see it. I can still see them hanging with the tag team division. And I wouldn't have been able to say that 3 or 4 months ago.
I
would have thought that it would have been beneath them. Now I think it's not beneath them. If anything, I think it would accelerate Roman Reigns' potential as well, because it makes him seem more important that he's fighting for the tag team titles, which seem so awesome right now.
They are awesome. Although I do hate the design of the belts.
Oh, yeah, me and Stone Cold too.
What would you
Reza, what are your opinions on the title belts?
I hate the titles. They look like large coins.
Really? I thought they'd be your sort of thing.
No, that sort of thing. My sort of thing is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I like. That's a nice design.
You know what they say? Shoot for the moon, because if you miss, you'll be in space.
That's my favourite saying.
Yep.
Which two teams
in space?
Which 2 teams would you most like to see go at it? The ones that can provide the most entertainment, good matches, and keep fans interested. I know which 2 I'd pick. Right, as in tomorrow.
I would say Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns versus the New Day would be an awesome little feud to have. I really, really do. I think that would be really fun to see. I think we'd see a lot from Reigns that we don't get to see at the moment, and I don't know, it would be just entertainment.
I think one day what I want to see happen, maybe not this year, definitely next year, is a feud between one that's going to keep the fans interested and looking forward to all night. Has to be New Day and Enzo Amore and Big Cass.
Oh, didn't think of them.
That needs to happen.
Yeah.
Where are they? Imran, are they still on NXT?
Yeah, they're still stuck on NXT.
They lost in the tournament, didn't they?
What?
Oh, they're going to lose. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Oh no!
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I had no idea that's it's not aired yet. I'm sorry.
no!
Spoiler alert, if it helps. They're going to lose. So what would you like to see happen in the tag team division in the coming months, apart from, as I said, Dean Ambrose?
I want to see the Freebird rule introduced, where all 3 members are the champions. No, but they're not all competing as the champions. Like the title belt can't move around.
The Freebird rule is that only 2 of them can compete at any given time, but it's any 2.
Yeah.
Is it any 2 right now?
Yeah, all 3 of them are recognized as champion.
No, I'm sure it's just Big E and Kingston. It's not.
They just opt to have them wrestle because Xavier's that good on the outside.
Yeah, and he can play the trombone.
Exactly.
Are you sure about that? Because I'm sure like Kingston.
Keep talking. I'm going to go to WWE.com.
On WWE.com, all 3 are champions.
Hold on. I will confirm this.
Let's have a look.
Yep,
No,
all 3 champions. All 3 are champions.
Whoa!
Some
the Freebird rule.
Research.
Wow! This is awesome.
Just like a long awkward.
We'll just let it sink in for a second.
While we do our
That is actually awesome.
Something we should have done before the podcast, but it's fine. I'll do the work as well.
Welcome to the Main Event Podcast Amateur Hour. This is where we practice everything for the real podcast.
We should dedicate like 10 minutes for me, my thoughts. Did you know, Dina?
The funny thing is, I've watched every sort of episode for wrestling, so New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, heck, even Impact Wrestling, and yeah, I just found out about the Freebirds rule.
Did you know Damien Sandow was wrestling in his robe again this week?
Is this? We moved away from the tag team division.
I'm waiting for your research.
I've already researched. It's true.
Oh, it's true. Sorry.
Yeah, they're all 3 of them are tag team champions.
Right. Okay.
We've just been talking about it. Imran was just surprised.
Okay, there we are. All 3 are champions. Finally. Right, back to the topic.
Again, like I said, welcome to the Main Event Podcast, Amateur Hour, people.
This is a good time to end this topic with the New Day. I knew this was going to happen as soon as we mentioned the New Day. I should have seen that coming. Let us know how.
Let's make it a new day.
Let us know what you think of the tag team division, whether you're enjoying it. I'm guessing everyone is. And what changes you'd like to see if we need new champions. If you want to see Enzo Amore and Big Cass come up, I know everyone agrees with me anyway. So, let us know what you think. Moving on, before the main event of the predictions, this is something Arif brought up earlier on. Well, he asked a question. We never really discussed it in great length. This Sunday, Night of Champions, you asked me what if Sting actually defeats Seth Rollins and walks out with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Can you tell me what you were thinking?
Well, Reza, I had a little bit of a prediction with Sting.
Okay.
And if he does win the title at Night of Champions, let me just play this little scenario out to you. So, he's there holding the title at the end of Night of Champions, and he appears with it at the start of Raw as well. During his little speech, where he's evil Joker Sting, Rollins interrupts, and we get the rematch made for later on that night on Raw in the main event. So after there's some shenanigans with the Authority and with Cena evening the odds, Sting wins and successfully defends his title, essentially being the WWE World Heavyweight Champion officially, because he's not lost it at all. And then Sting's left alone in the ring, and the gong sounds.
Ooh.
The famous gong. And we have the lights go out, and the Undertaker appears in the ring, but the Undertaker is then the one holding the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. We get a fade to black, and this sets up Sting versus the Undertaker at Survivor Series. That's the next pay-per-view, right?
I believe so.
Yes.
Is it? No.
It's either that or Hell in a Cell.
If it's not, then we could have the rematch with Sting and Rollins at Hell in a Cell, and then have the Undertaker appear the night after, and then we could have Sting versus Undertaker at Survivor Series, where Undertaker wins the title because of interference from Kane. Do you see where I'm going with this? Maybe a little bit. This is a bit of wishful thinking. Yeah. So then now we have a feud between Kane and Sting that's about to get set up, but Sting is injured for a little while. Undertaker is your WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and then come the Royal Rumble, Kane is eliminating people left, right, and center. He's got his mask back on, by the way. I don't know where he found it in the dustbin.
Thanks.
Just to make you feel a little bit better. And then Sting comes out and eliminates Kane, setting up a feud towards WrestleMania. In this time, Lesnar returns, and he gets to win the Rumble and faces The Undertaker at WrestleMania for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And I know this is a little bit out there, but I think this is a really nice way to set up a really good feud for Sting where he can win at WrestleMania against Kane and not look weak. And also, it adds a different element to the Brock Lesnar-Undertaker match that we're going to get at WrestleMania as well. And do you want to know the best thing about it?
Please tell me.
Yep.
It's never going to happen. Cena wins.
Just like something's never.
It's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. I just think it's really something different. I mean, that way you could have Cena versus Reigns even for the US title, and this is something I thought of earlier on. And then we could have Owens versus Zayn for the IC title, and it just frees up people on the roster to not have to worry about the title in their match. As in, who else would you put in the main event? Because it's too early for Reigns. If Cena's in there, who does he face? It's a really awkward situation at the moment. Having the championship on The Undertaker makes this WrestleMania match between him and Lesnar fresh as well. It's more than just a rubber match. It's a rubber match for the biggest prize in the business.
Especially with reports that Taker might not retire. So
exactly.
He could keep it.
It just seems to make sense at this moment. And that way as well, you're giving the title to Sting and you're making him relevant. I guess the dark horse in all of this is the ginger horse, Sheamus.
Well, one thing I did read, I don't know if it's true, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match is not the main event at Night of Champions.
Yes, which makes sense because they probably aren't going to let Sting win, but then Cena wins against Rollins, and that way you send the fans home happy and there's shenanigans.
See, I hate that because that works like spoilers, essentially, because you know the world title match should be the world title match, should be the main event. It's the main title of the show, and if that's any time not as the main event, you know the main event, something big's going to happen.
Exactly.
Something changing.
Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker at SummerSlam was the main event when Rollins versus Cena wasn't. It's exactly the same scenario.
Yeah, something big, something huge. And if it's the United States Championship, you know something huge is going to happen, which is John Cena is going to win and send the crowd home happy, I reckon.
Who's going to be happy, though? The kids are going to be happy. I'm not. You're not. Razat is, but he looks...
I should have seen that coming. Let us know what you think on Arif's little...
Wait, no, I'm not done. Wait.
Yeah, you over there.
I'm living this. It's like all the attention's on me. Okay, what if Sting takes his mask off and it's really Sting?
Ooh.
That happened in TNA once. There was a guy in a mask and he took his mask off and it was Sting, but it was a Sting mask.
I think that's the only 10-second clip of TNA I've ever seen.
Also, really quickly, speaking of spoilers, Jay Lethal in ROH is a double champion, just like Seth Rollins, and he's defending his titles in the same weekend against two different opponents on their pay-per-view, and that's happening on the Friday. So, I mean, like, if we want predictions for what happens there, I guess we could just watch that show.
I think the WWE definitely copied Ring of Honor. Jay Lethal mentioned. I think he was quite happy with that. He goes, look, at least we're doing something right. Jay
Lethal was really happy. He was like, oh, maybe if the best wrestling show in the world can kiss ass. That's exactly what he was doing.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see him there, but I think one thing people will question is what would a match between Jay Lethal and Seth Rollins be like, which is something...
Ring of Honor glory days.
Again, something completely different.
That must have happened in the past.
A different topic. Yeah, but not on a massive stage, which is what would be good. But again, completely different topic. Let's get on to the main event, what we're here for. The Night of Champions predictions take place this Sunday. With every championship is on the line, even Nikki Bella is defending her Divas Championship. That's when you know every title's on the line. Let's run down the matches, talk a little about them, what we think of them before obviously giving our final predictions. And basically, we're just going to discuss something. At the end of the day, we know I'm going to win. Pre-show first.
Imran, I really hope you beat him.
I will, Arif.
Are you not in on this? Are you not in on
Sorry?
this?
Huh? No, I've got that injury.
Oh yes, the injury.
I've got that. You know that injury. That I got that injury.
Pre-show first, we got Neville teaming up with the Lucha Dragons to take on the Cosmic Wasteland in Stardust and Ascension. Who needs the win?
Who needs the win? Obviously, it's Stardust in the Ascension.
Who get the win?
It's on the pre-show. I think we can see Stardust in the Ascension winning this.
I don't think. Well, I wouldn't like to see Stardust lose 2 pay-per-views in a row. I like the Ascension, what they've done on NXT and everything. I do think they fail on the main roster. Maybe they can learn a little from Road/Stardust. I'm at the same time, the fans might want to start the show off on a positive note, have the faces win, but I'm going to go with my instinct and say the Cosmic Wasteland pick up the win in the pre-show.
Cosmic Wasteland,
Yeah, I think Cosmic Wasteland need to step up and cement themselves as a kind of a threat in the tag team division. They need the win over Neville and the tag team of Lucha Dragons. So Cosmic Wasteland it is.
We're all going for Cosmic Wasteland, but my opinion doesn't matter as much because I'm not part of the bet.
It's that injury that the doctors have said is.
Yeah, do you know that life scarring injury? I don't want to say threatening.
Fans, send us your well wishes. Really upset here.
Email them to me.
Let's begin the main card with Nikki Bella then, defending her Divas Championship against Charlotte. If Nikki is counted out or disqualified, she loses the championship. What do we think is going to go here? I can see shenanigans.
Oh, shenanigans everywhere. Reza, you can look, but you can't touch. You keep dreaming of the stars above. Open up your eyes and it's...
How come we always stop there? Do you not know the lyrics?
I don't know the lyrics, okay.
That's settled then. 45 episodes in, I finally found out you don't know the lyrics. I can see shenanigans because of... Well, firstly, if Nikki Bella's counted out disqualified, that helps. I can see something happening with Team PCB. First, I'd say they could attack Nikki Bella, but that means she'd lose a championship. I can see Paige or Becky Lynch attacking Charlotte either during the match to disqualify her or after the match turning
once she's won the title.
Yeah, so obviously, as I've just said, I'm going to go with Charlotte winning the championship and then Paige will probably attack her.
Mm-hmm. Imran?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Rosa. Like, I'm just going off what's not off Rosa, but going off what's happened on Raw. Mm-hmm. It's clear they wanted Nikki to beat the streak. She's beating it now. Now it's time for her to pass on the torch to Charlotte, who's been on fire. And this is the time for her to step up and take the Divas Revolution and sort of like reinvigorate it. And that's by the attacks. That's by, what winning the title leads onto, the endless possibilities, I guess, really. So Charlotte, this is, I hate Nikki. I hate her so much. But I can't wait for this match just because of Charlotte. I just want to see her with that title so bad.
Nikki Bella on the Total Divas episode that I watched. In fact, the Bella Twins in general, they were talking about pancakes and why they're called pancakes. Do you have to make them in a pan? It's just yes, that's it.
Okay, let's move on from that.
I'm going Charlotte.
Charlotte's clean sweep. So I think I'm doing pretty well. If you guys are with me, I've got nothing to be afraid of. I'm not looking forward to this. Dolph Ziggler taking on Rusev, singles match, no championship involved. More focus on...
It's Night of Champions!
There's more focus on Summer Rae and Lana in this for some reason. Could there be a double turn on the cards? I know a lot of people are saying eventually we will see Lana reunite with Rusev.
See, this is the thing. I think Rusev is going to go a completely different way with this. I mean, he's tried Lana. She wasn't submissive enough. He's tried Summer Rae. She wasn't submissive enough. Why not go for the real blonde in this whole thing? Dolph Ziggler. Imagine it. Rusev could be the Bulgarian bear.
The scary thing is...
Bear in the hair?
If that happened, I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, I'm just saying that Dolph Ziggler didn't get that excited when Summer Rae went into his locker room.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think back to the match. I don't know. This is actually tough to call because of what happened in that previous match. You can see both men winning. Again, I don't know why I can see Summer Rae costing Rusev the win, but that makes Rusev look really weak, which I absolutely hate. But
So who you voting for? Where's your heart going?
Can I not just avoid this completely and pretend I was right in the next episode?
You'll get 0 on it.
In that case, I'm gonna go with Rusev winning this match.
Rusev winning. Imran?
I see this match just as what the last match was, a filler match. I'm sick and tired of this storyline. It's been happening since Extreme Rules.
What's your prediction?
Prediction is Dolph Ziggler. But I honestly don't care.
No, but it's good. It's good for the prediction show. Now we've got something to look forward to.
Arif, what are you going to go with? Do I feel a sense of security now, or am I going to be...
I think it'll be a double count out.
Again?
Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Intercontinental Championship match, Ryback defending against Kevin Owens.
Thank God my opinions don't actually... not my predictions don't actually matter, because otherwise I would have lost this.
A little build. Could be a good match regardless. What do we see happening, Imran?
I think they've only just kicked off the feud. I don't think Ryback's going to lose it so soon. I would like to see Kevin Owens win the title, but I really don't reckon it'll happen this soon into the feud. It'll probably be the next pay-per-view or the pay-per-view after, so I'm going with Ryback.
I think Owens will win, but by disqualification. Oh, sorry, Ryback will win, but by disqualification. I don't think it'll be a clean victory, so I agree in that sort of sense. I just think that, like Imran said, it's too early for Kevin Owens to maybe win the title, but let's not forget how good Kevin Owens is really quickly. Yeah. He is absolutely amazing. Like, it doesn't matter what Ryback said to him, and Ryback was on form this past Monday night on Raw as well. Yep. It didn't matter what Ryback said to him. He had 7 responses already stored up. That's the sign of a really good heel. But yeah, Ryback to win by disqualification.
I agree. I think there are going to be more matches. There's only one guy on the roster who can spoil your prediction. That's probably Kevin Owens and John Cena. I wouldn't be surprised if Owens wins at all. He's just that kind of superstar. But again, it's a clean sweep. Ryback to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Moving on.
I will change my vote.
Kevin Owens.
Going Kevin Owens. Double count.
Tag Team Championships now. The New Day defending against the Dudley Boys. I think they will meet again. But the New Day are just on fire, on form. I can't see them dropping the titles.
Does it matter if they do, though? That's the thing.
I just think they can offer more as champions. I think there's more possibilities with it.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see why you'd say that as well. Because when they didn't have the titles before, everyone was just waiting for them to win them back, and now they are the champions. They look amazing as champions. I would agree. I don't think they'll lose this match, but I also don't think it harms them if they do lose to the Dudley Boys, because it could be a comedy loss and it could set them up for more in the future.
Yeah, I think we're going to see tables more than anything, really. We're going to see tables in this match, and I'm looking forward to it because what they've been building towards with this match with the Dudley Boys it's been awesome. Bubble wrapping the tables. I only see one winner from this. The New Day.
Mm-hmm. Clean sweep again.
WWE World Heavyweight Championship now. Rollins defending against Sting. I'm going with Seth Rollins.
So we're actually saying that Rollins versus Cena will be the main event.
Yeah.
Oh god. I'm not saying that.
I'm
saying that.
Yeah, we as a podcast, I meant. Yeah. Raza is the voice of the podcast.
I think Seth Rollins retains.
Retains, but that's not. You can't. No. Who wins the match?
Oh, Seth Rollins wins the match.
Oh, I don't know.
I think
shenanigans, Raza. Think of shenanigans.
It can't be shenanigans, but it can be in a way where Seth Rollins still gets the pinball.
Because that way you could even have the same argument on Raw, where you could say that Rollins lost both his matches at Night of Champions. You could lose by DQ and still hold the title, but then you can't have every single match lose by DQ or double count out.
What do you think?
I don't think Sting will walk out as champion, but I don't think he'll lose either because he lost at WrestleMania.
It's true.
He needs a win, and this is a great way of giving him that win without giving him the title. You know, a DQ finish would work well for him.
Mm-hmm. I really want him to win the title, but only because of my own selfish predictions from before. So I'm going to say he walks out with the championship. But thank goodness my predictions don't matter.
Moving on, the Wyatt family taking on Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and a mystery opponent. First off, prediction on that mystery opponent.
Yep.
Arif.
Nope. This is you guys. I'm not allowed. No, I'm not.
Well, there's 3 options: Eric Rowan, Kane, The Rock.
What?
Jericho.
What happened to
That's 4.
3?
That's 4.
Oh, I'm really confused now. Who's go for?
What about the Baron Corbin thing? Was that just a red herring?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, damn it.
God.
Okay, let's break it down really quickly. Okay, so Eric Rowan apparently not cleared to compete, but we know that just could be a lie and to throw us off. The Rock, I think they would have announced earlier.
The Rock's too big not to announce.
Exactly. Or if not, then it's going to be an amazing shock and it's going to make Night of Champions seem a lot more important than it should have done. Jericho doesn't really fit because he's not the monster to face the monster that is Braun Strowman. And Kane was a heel the last time we saw him, and he was even feuding with people like Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. I can't see anyone but Baron Corbin.
They do like their spots during matches, and a monster versus monster spot will fit well. So I'm actually going to go with Kane with this. He's been ready to return for some time. Works well.
And Reza?
I'm going to go outside the box. I'm going to go Samoa Joe from NXT.
Oh,
I've won this one.
I'm going to go Samoa Joe.
And then who's winning?
The Wyatt family wins this match. No, honestly, because what's the point of this Braun Strowman hype? He needs to look strong, and I think he will do that.
And that's why I don't think they'll push Samoa Joe into that spot.
Exactly.
If the Wyatt family are winning, then they're not going to bring up someone like Joe. I don't think. But you've already popped your prediction in.
I want to do something different.
Imran, are you going with Wyatt family as well?
Wyatt family to win, yeah.
And I too will go for the Wyatt family, but I'm still going to go for Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin, interesting.
I'm going to have to because it just makes the most sense at the moment.
Well, finally, this could be the main event.
And then Corbin turning on his teammates.
Seth Rollins defending the United States Championship against John.
No, we've forgotten a match.
Have we?
Cesaro versus Big Show.
It's
gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I'm going Cesaro. I'm not going to discuss that.
So what you not gonna do? He's gonna give him the swing.
Cesaro. Imran?
If it does happen.
1 or 2 word answer.
The
Or 3.
Big
If you want to go with the Big Show.
Cesaro.
The Big
Cesaro is.
Okay, finally, now the main event, which could be Seth Rollins defending the United States Championship against John Cena. I'm going with John Cena becoming the new United States champion.
John Cena in the main event.
But one question I wanted to ask, could you see this happening? If that is the main event, Seth Rollins retains the United States Championship, we still can see that ginger horse come into the ring.
Even if he loses, I think it's more likely if he loses.
You never know, anything.
That would be a huge thing, and I think that's less predictable. I think that's probably why they've done it this way.
I'm going to go with Sheamus cashes in as well for the bonus.
Sheamus cashes in for the bonus. Does he win the title?
He wins the title.
Ooh. Sheamus cashes in and wins. Imran, what do you think?
I'm going to go with John Cena winning the title, but no cash in at all. Just simply because, I've said this on the podcast before, I simply think WWE are going to go with a Sting versus John Cena match at WrestleMania for the United States Championship.
Ooh, I could see that happening. Oh, now I don't know who to... Oh.
It's the title Sting made famous.
It is. That would be quite a good match to have as well, because Cena could carry Sting in that match.
Exactly.
Oh, this is really difficult. Okay, Cena wins, Sheamus cash in and loses.
Loses?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ooh.
I'm going Sheamus cash in and loses. I think if anyone needs to cash in and lose it, and if anyone needs to cash in and lose, then it has to be Sheamus.
Fair point. And there are predictions. It's going to be so interesting next week to find out who's won. Let us know your predictions in the comment section as well. But guys, I'm afraid that is all we have time for on this week's episode of the Main Event Podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as we did, talking about the topics and headlines that have been under the spotlight. Please recommend us to all of your friends who think would enjoy what we have to offer. Please leave a like, continue downloading and sharing, doing whatever it is you do. Any final words from you guys?
Just stay safe and stay happy.
And don't do school. Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is. Don't do school.
Don't do school. Don't do school, kids.
We hope you come back next week for another episode where we have all the fallout from Night of Champions as well as other topics and the results of the predictions. So we'll see you again next week right here on the Main Event Podcast.
Oh, and by the way, I can guarantee that I'm not Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose's partner at Hell in a Cell.